What if ships could sail over mountains? China didn't ask what if, they built it. The Gupatan Shiplift, a $7.7 billion mega elevator that hauls 10,000-ton ships, each as tall as a 66-story skyscraper, a jaw-dropping 199 meters into the sky like a floating titan defying gravity itself. But why build this monster in the first place? The answer reveals a masterclass in strategic thinking that goes far beyond simply moving cargo from point A to point B. China's inland trade faces a brutal challenge: mountains, cliffs, and unpredictable terrain. Nowhere is this more obvious than the Wujiang River in Guizhou Province, a region where traditional transport methods are slow, expensive, and often dangerous. The geography here isn't just challenging, though, it's hostile. Sharp limestone peaks erupt from the landscape like dragon's teeth, and narrow valleys plunge hundreds of meters below. Monsoon seasons transform gentle streams into raging torrents. For centuries, this region was known as the mountain that devours men due to its treacherous passages and deadly landslides. Before the shiplift, moving cargo through this labyrinth of rock and water was nearly impossible. Ships had no path forward. Trucks crawled along crumbling roads, barely holding ground against landslides. Traditional canal locks, which work elsewhere, were too slow and impractical for this extreme landscape. A conventional lock system would have required an endless chain of at least 20 separate chambers to navigate the nearly 200-meter elevation change, economically devastating. Shipping a single container from Guizhou to Shanghai could take 2 weeks and cost 3 times more than comparable distances elsewhere in China. So, China did something radical. Instead of forcing the river to adapt to trade, they made trade adapt to the river. That's where the Gupatan Shiplift comes in. A machine so powerful it compresses 4 days of travel into just 2.5 hours. Imagine a ship the size of a football field entering a colossal steel chamber. The gates slam shut with precision-engineered hydraulic doors weighing 400 tons each. Massive pumps roar to life, flooding the chamber with water, cradling the vessel in a liquid elevator. The chamber itself weighs 3,000 tons empty, but with water and a fully loaded cargo ship, this balloons to over 11,000 tons. Slowly, the entire structure rises straight up, as if the river itself is lifting it over the mountain. From inside, the experience is surreal. The ground falls away, the world shrinking beneath you. Through small portholes, passengers see rivers turn to ribbons and villages to specks. When the chamber reaches the upper reservoir, the gates open to reveal a sprawling lake where moments before there was only air. The ship glides forward, continuing its journey as if it hadn't just performed an engineering miracle. It's not just a shortcut, it's a game changer. A river highway carved into the sky. At its heart is a floating fortress, a colossal ship chamber 40 meters long and 12 meters wide, holding 500 tons of steel and water. 4 massive concrete towers guide the lift, anchored 70 meters into bedrock. Each tower contains redundant systems of cables, counterweights, and brakes. 256 steel cables, each strong enough to tow a jumbo jet, move the chamber along like a skyscraper-sized cogwheel. Every motion is monitored by sensors, keeping balance within millimeters. Hydraulic dampers, holding enough fluid to fill an Olympic pool, absorb shock waves from winds, waves, and even earthquakes. Powering this lift requires enough electricity to run a small city, much of it generated by the dam's own turbines. Every lifting cycle takes just 30 minutes, and the system can move up to 5 million tons of cargo annually, transforming trade routes and cutting travel time dramatically. But efficiency wasn't the only goal, it was strategy. The Gupatan Shiplift rewrote China's economic map. For decades, Guizhou Province was a logistical dead zone, its industries isolated by mountains. Now with a direct link to the Yangtze River, trade costs have fallen by 67%, industrial output risen by 42%, and foreign investment surged by 83%. Once poor farming villages are now bustling trade centers and tourism destinations, thanks to this engineering marvel. Beyond economics, this project is a national security and resilience strategy. It's part of a vast inland network. Alongside the Three Gorges Dam and South North Water Transfer Project, designed to keep China's economy moving even if global trade routes are disrupted. It aligns perfectly with China's dual circulation policy, strengthening domestic supply chains independent of global systems. The Gupitan shiplift also plays a role in climate adaptation, regulating water flow and preventing floods amid changing weather patterns. It's not just a machine, it's an insurance policy, a chess move in a global economic game. China's $7.7 billion vertical highway bends mountains to its will, slashes trade routes, and reshapes entire regions. And it's only the beginning. Future lifts will be taller, faster, and more efficient, with similar projects already underway across Asia and Africa under the Belt and Road Initiative. If China can lift rivers over mountains, what's next? Because while the world watches their skyscrapers rise and bullet trains blur, it's what's happening beneath the surface, the hidden infrastructure, that might truly change everything. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe and watch our next video, because the future is rising, one mountain at a time.